Hello students, I welcome you all to today's session. I hope all of you are doing perfect at your places. Today's topic is pollution of air and water. Learning objectives: air pollution, greenhouse effect, preventive and control of air pollution, causes of water pollution, potable water and water conservation. Now, environmental pollution is the contamination of environment with harmful substances due to certain natural phenomena or human activities. Any substance that causes pollution is called a pollutant. A substance becomes a pollutant when its concentration increases beyond a certain permissible limit in the environment. Fertilizers help in increasing the crop yield, but when used in excess, they contaminate ground and surface water. Similarly, air is a mixture of nitrogen, oxygen and a small fraction of carbon dioxide, which is good for us. But when the concentration of oxides of the nitrogen or carbon dioxide increases beyond a certain limit, it becomes polluted. So, all these factors contribute to the pollutions of water and of air. Now, let's first study about the air pollution. For all living things or all living beings, air is very important. One can survive without food for few days, but without air, one cannot survive even for a minute or few minutes. Thus, clean air is essential for all of us. The air around us is a mixture of different gases in a fixed proportion. This proportion remains constant due to many natural processes such as photosynthesis, respiration, etc. The air becomes contaminated when this balance is disturbed. When air is contaminated by the introduction of chemicals, particulate matter or biological materials that cause harm or discomfort to humans or other living beings or damages the natural environment is referred to as air pollution. तो air में जब आपके chemicals और ऐसे particulate matters आ जाते हैं जो in turn humans के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा नुकसानदायक हो जाते हैं, that phenomena we call it as air pollution. Now, let's see the causes and consequences of air pollution. The substances which contaminate the air are called the air pollutants. Sometimes such air pollutants may come from the natural sources like smoke and dust arising from the forest fires or the volcanic eruptions. Now, think yourself, and these questions you have to answer on your own. Now, human activities are also responsible for adding pollutants in the environment. The main sources of air pollutants are given below. Number one, pollutants from home. Other kinds of pollutants are CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, which are used in refrigerators, air conditioners and aerosol sprays. CFCs damage the ozone layer of the atmosphere. The ozone layer protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Damage in ozone layer is a serious matter of concern. Every time even a small amount of the ozone layer is depleted, the ultraviolet rays entering the Earth's atmosphere make the human beings and other animals vulnerable to skin cancer. अब घरों से आने वाले जो effluents होते हैं उनसे भी बहुत ज़्यादा air pollution cause होता है, which in turn is very harmful and hazardous for different animals, plants as well as for human beings. Now, exhaust from vehicles. The exhaust from vehicles produces high levels of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen and smoke. Carbon monoxide is produced from the incomplete burning of fuels such as petrol and diesel. It is a poisonous gas. It reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. You might have observed a thick fog-like layer in the atmosphere, especially during winter. This is smog, which is made up of smoke and fog, and smoke may contain oxides of nitrogen which combine with the other pollutants and fog to form smog. The smog not only reduces visibility but also causes breathing difficulties such as asthma, cough and wheezing in human beings. तो आपका फिर आप normal आपके vehicles से भी carbon emissions होते हैं, that also leads to air pollution. Then exhaust from industries. Many industries are also responsible for causing air pollution. Petroleum refineries are a major source of gaseous pollutants like sulfur dioxide and combustion of fuels like coal in power plants. They can cause respiratory problems, including permanent lung damage. Moreover, pollutants like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide react with water and vapor present in the atmosphere to form sulfuric acid and nitric acid. These acids mix with the rainwater and fall down with rain, making it acidic, and this is called acid rain. Acid rain makes the soil acidic, that affects the agricultural productivity. Acid rain damages the forestry and the aquatic life. The water in lakes, ponds or rivers becomes more acidic and unsuitable for animals and plants surviving there. Acid rain promotes corrosion of metallic structures such as railway bridges, towers, etc. and it also kills the fish and other aquatic animals and plants. Acid rain lowers the fertility of the soil. तो acid rain आपकी अलग अलग carbon emissions, nitrogen emissions की वजह से होती है जो monuments, iron and aquatic life के लिए भी equally threat pose करता है. Now check yourself in this question, you have to answer on your own. Now there is a factopedia. Acid rain corrodes the marble of the monument. The phenomenon is called the marble cancer. Now, suspended particulate matter SPM. In addition to the above mentioned gases, automobiles which burn diesel and petrol also produce tiny particles that remain suspended in the air for long periods. They reduce visibility and cause diseases when inhaled. Such particles are also produced during industrial processes like steel making and mining. Power plants give out tiny ash particles. These are called suspended particulate matter that pollute the atmosphere. Now, India's most famous tourist attraction, the Taj Mahal in Agra, has become a matter of concern due to the increasing air pollution, and researchers reported that dust and carbon particles are causing the discoloration on the marble dome and miniatures of the Taj Mahal, turning the white color of this landmark to brown. The industries like rubber processing, automobile chemicals, and especially the Mathura oil refinery located in and around Agra have been responsible for producing harmful pollutants like sulfur dioxide, which on reacting with moisture of air forms sulfuric acid. It is corroding the beauty of the Taj. The Supreme Court of India has taken some strict steps to save the Taj Mahal. Even Taj Mahal पे भी acid rain की वजह से उसका color ही change होने लग गया है, and because of that Supreme Court has also taken some actions. Now, the greenhouse effect. In our solar system, while other planets are either extremely hot or bitterly cold, Earth's surface has relatively mild and stable temperature. The Earth is covered with a thin and very thin blanket of air is called atmosphere. The sun's rays warm the Earth's surface. Some parts of the radiation that falls on the Earth's surface, some parts of the radiation, it is absorbed by it and a part is reflected into the space. A part of the reflected radiation is trapped by the atmosphere. This trapped heat warms the Earth just like the heat trapped by a greenhouse in a plant nursery warms it. That is why it is called the greenhouse effect. Without this process, life would not have been possible on the Earth, but now it is threatening the life. Carbon dioxide is one of the gases responsible for this effect. Carbon dioxide, one of the essential components of air, is very important for the plants as they use it to synthesize their food and release oxygen in this process. When the concentration of carbon dioxide increases beyond a certain limit, it acts as a pollutant. Carbon dioxide is continuously being released because of human activities. On the other hand, the area under forest is decreasing. Plants utilize carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for photosynthesis and thereby decreasing its amount in the air. Deforestation leads to an increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the air because the number of trees is reduced and human activities trap heat and do not allow it to escape into space. As a result, the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere is gradually increasing and this is called global warming. तो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड के इंक्रीज की वजह से ज़्यादा हीट ट्रैप हो रही है जिसकी वजह से ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो रही है. Now, did you know other gases like methane, nitrous oxide and water vapor also contribute to global warming, and these are called greenhouse gases. Now, global warming results into the rise of sea level and change in rainfall pattern. It also affects the agriculture, forest, plants and animals. Many low-lying areas have already been flooded due to global warming. Thus, global warming has become a serious matter of concern for all over in the world. Now, let's see the prevention and control of air pollution. Air pollution cannot be totally prevented or eliminated. It can, however, be controlled so that the harmful effects of the air pollution are minimum. Some of the ways to control air pollution are suggested below. Replacing wood, coal and kerosene with LPG for domestic use, using alternative resources of energy like solar, wind and thermal energy, improving the quality of fuels in automobiles and using catalytic converters in them. The use of CNG in automobiles has reduced the air pollution in our metro cities considerably, and using better technology to control the level of pollutants in the emissions. So these are all the things जिससे आप बिल्कुल eliminate तो नहीं कर सकते हैं air pollution को, but काफ़ी हद तक minimize कर सकते हैं. Now you can also contribute to control air pollution. Encourage the people to walk to the nearby neighborhood places. Whenever possible, take your bicycle or use public forms of transportation. Look after the trees in your neighborhood. If possible, adopt a tree. Switch off all the lights and fans when not required. If possible, share your room with others when air conditioner, cooler or fan is on. Do not burn leaves, plastics, etc. Compost the fallen leaves. Participate in your local utilities, energy conservation and plantation and other eco-friendly programs. So by doing all these activities, आप अपने level पे भी air pollution को minimize कर सकते हैं. Now, water pollution. Like air, water is also very important for all the living beings. We all need water. Rivers and lakes are the most important sources of water that we use, but this water is contaminating continuously. Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies such as lakes, rivers, oceans, groundwater caused by human activities, which can be harmful to organisms and plants that live in and around these water bodies. It occurs when pollutants are discharged directly into water bodies without treating them first. So the major pollutants contaminating water are sewage, fertilizers, pesticides and untreated industrial waste. तो बिना वाटर को ट्रीट करिए जब आप वाटर बॉडीज या रिवर्स वगैरह में छोड़ देते हो, this phenomena is known as water pollution. What are the causes of water pollution? There are many causes of water pollution, and these are indirect and direct contaminant sources. Indirect sources include contaminants that enter water supply from soil, groundwater and from the atmosphere via rainwater. Direct sources include effluents from the factories, refineries, water treatment plants, etc. that dispose fluids of varying quality directly into the water bodies. So these are all the factors which are contributing towards the water pollution. Now, Ganga Action Plan. River Ganga runs from Gangotri in the Himalayas to Ganga Sagar in the Bay of Bengal. In the year 1985, Ganga Action Plan was launched by the Government of India in collaboration with the Department of Environment under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister. In phase 1 of Ganga Action Plan, wastewater generated in different cities, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal was intercepted, diverted and given treatment. In phase 2, Ganga Action Plan, the major tributaries of Ganga like Mahananda, Yamuna, Gomti and Damodar were covered for the pollution treatment. Following are some major causes of pollution in river Ganga: municipal sewage, industrial waste, runoff from solid waste garbage dump, disposal of half-burnt and unburnt dead bodies and animal carcasses, open defecation and cattle wallowing. Despite expenditure of more than 2,000 crores of rupees, Ganga's action plan has not achieved any success. This may be due to mismanagement, corruption and incompetence at all the levels. So the Ganga today is even more polluted than before. The coliform and the facial coliform counts are exceedingly high in the river water. This is evident to show that the capacity of the river to assimilate a large level of organic waste input is high, but it is impossible to sustain its self-purifying power with this kind of overuse, misuse and abuse of its water. तो गंगा प्लान भी ऐसा ही 1985 में स्टार्ट किया गया था, बट मिसमैनेजमेंट करप्शन की वजह से अभी तक सक्सेस एटलीस्ट इस प्लान को इतने सालों के बावजूद भी नहीं मिल पाई है. Now, the measure taken by the authorities dealing with the Ganga Action Plan were curative and not preventive. As a result, pollution of the river water still continues. For example, all the fishing is banned in the river flowing between Allahabad and Farrukhabad, but thousands of fishermen can be seen catching fish in this belt. Turtles were released in Ganga at Varanasi, but their poaching was never controlled. Ganga Action Plan is actually not just a government plan, but a plan for all the people of India. So we should come forward and participate to clean the Ganga and refrain from polluting. तो ये सिर्फ गवर्नमेंट की ही रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है, उन्होंने अपना एक्शन को लॉन्च कर दिया है. नाउ इट इज आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एज द सिटीजन ऑफ दिस कंट्री कि हमको भी ये सारी चीजें क्लीन रखनी चाहिए. Now, the industrial waste. Many industries such as oil refineries, paper mills, textile and sugar mills, etc. discharge harmful chemicals like arsenic, lead, fluorides, etc. into rivers and streams, causing water pollution. This causes chemical contamination of water. This water becomes toxic for plants and animals living there, and the harmful chemicals enter the body of plants and animals and get deposited there, causing toxicity. This is called bioconcentration, and when humans consume the plants and animals from these water bodies, these toxins enter the body and the soil also gets affected by the impure water. So its fertility reduces. Such water also contaminates the groundwater. The factory से निकालने वाले effluents भी water pollution में बहुत ज़्यादा contribute करते हैं. Then the agricultural runoffs. You might have seen ponds with a layer of green, slimy patches or algae on their surface. This is caused by the excessive quantity of chemicals which get washed away from the fields. These act as nutrients for algae to flourish. Soon these algae cover the entire surface of water, and this is called the algal bloom. This process is called as eutrophication. The aquatic animals and plants do not get adequate light and oxygen due to the eutrophication. Now the synthetic detergents. Sometimes untreated sewage is thrown directly into the rivers. It contains food waste, detergents, microorganisms, etc. Now, water contaminated with sewage may contain bacteria, viruses, fungi and parasites which causes diseases like cholera, typhoid and jaundice. This water, when seeps into the soil, contaminates the groundwater. If such water is used by us, it can cause severe infections. अब यही आपका जो बेकार वाटर पोल्यूटेड होता है, इसको जब हम कंज्यूम कर लेते हैं, फिर आप के साथ साथ आती हैं बहुत सारी बीमारियां. Now, did you know hot water also pollutes water bodies? This is usually water from the power plants and industries. It is released into the rivers. It raises the temperature of the water body, adversely affecting the aquatic life existing there. Then comes the oil leakage. Many liquid products like petroleum are stored in metal and steel tubes underground. Over time, they rust and begin to leak and contaminate the soils and the nearby water bodies. And the last one is the atmospheric deposition. Atmospheric deposition is the pollution of water bodies caused by the air pollution. The acid rain caused due to oxides of sulfur and nitrogen falls to the ground and gets washed into the water bodies. This contaminates the water and treats the aquatic life. अब एटमॉस्फेयर से भी जो अलग अलग तरीके के गैसेस आपके डिपॉजिट हो जाते हैं इन वाटर बॉडीज में, अगेन उससे क्या होगा? वाटर पोल्यूशन. Now the potable water. Water which is fit for consumption by humans and animals is called the potable water. Water that appears clean may still have disease-carrying microorganisms and dissolved impurities. So it is essential to purify water before drinking by boiling or some other ways. The water is cleaned through various physical and chemical processes in the sewage treatment plants before discharging it into the water bodies, and similarly municipal bodies treat the water before supplying it to the households. तो potable water का basic sense में मतलब होता है वो पानी जो बिल्कुल साफ होता है और ह्यूमन बींग्स, एनिमल्स एंड प्लांट्स हम सब इसको अच्छे तरीके से सेफली कंज्यूम कर सकते हैं. Now think yourself in this question, you have to answer on your own. Now, did you know the water on the surface of soil when passed through its different layers gets filtered, and this water is available to us as groundwater and can be drawn using hand pumps, wells or tube wells. Now, water can be made safe for drinking by many methods. For example, boiling. It is the most common method to get clean, safe drinking water adopted by many households. Boiling kills the germs present in the water. Then comes the chlorination. Chlorination is a commonly used chemical method for purifying water. It is done by adding chlorine tablets or bleaching powder to the water. Chlorine kills the germs of microorganisms present in the water. One must be cautious while using chlorine tablets that do not use more chlorine tablets than specified. Then comes the filtering. This is a physical method of removing impurities. A popular household filter is a candle type of filter which has one or two candles with the tiny pores. Then the water filters through these pores and the drops into a separate container kept below. Nowadays, electric water filters and ROs are very popular. So these three methods, boiling, filtering and then chlorination. इन तीनों से आप अपने पानी को साफ कर सकते हैं. Now the water conservation. Water treatment plants should be installed in all the industrial areas at our individual levels. We should consciously save water and not waste it. 3 R's, that is reduce, reuse and recycle, should be followed by each of us. We should reduce the water consumption. Leaking taps, pipelines, tanks should be repaired immediately to save drinking water. Reuse water used for washing and for other household tasks. Rainwater harvesting should be practiced. These should be planted because the trees maintain the water cycle. Laws for industrial units should be strictly implemented so that polluted water is not disposed of directly into the water bodies. तो गवर्नमेंट अपनी इनिशिएटिव्स लाती रहती है, बट हमारी भी एज अ सिटीजन ऑफ दिस कंट्री रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है कि हम कम से कम वो चीज़ें करें जिनसे वाटर पोल्यूशन होता है. Now the glimpse of the chapter, air pollution, contamination of air with undesirable harmful substances. Air pollutants are substances which contaminate the air. Smog, smoke or other atmospheric pollutants combined with fog in an unhealthy mixture. Then comes the acid rain. Rain containing relatively high concentration of acid forming chemicals like oxides of nitrogen and sulfur. Greenhouse gases, gases like methane, nitrous oxide, global warming, gradual increase in Earth's average temperature. Eutrophication, a dense growth of algae and other organisms due to an abundant accumulation of nutrients in lakes or ponds. Potable water, water suitable for drinking. Now the summary of the chapter. Pollution is the contamination of the environment with harmful substances due to natural phenomenon or human activities. The substances that contaminate air, water or soil or land are called pollutants. Pollutants may be solid, liquid or gaseous. The contamination of air by undesired substances which are harmful for the living beings is referred to as air pollution. Oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and methane are the main air pollutants. The contamination of water by harmful substances is called the water pollution. Agricultural waste, sewage, industrial waste, etc. are some major water pollutants. Potable water refers to the water which is purified and is fit for drinking. Water can be made safe for drinking by filtering, boiling, chlorination, etc. And water is a precious natural resource. It must be used judiciously. With that, we are done with this chapter. Use water judiciously as much as you can, and please read the entire chapter once again properly. Save water, save life, and the exercise questions, please do it yourselves.